Hey guys, it's Kris here. So, we did chapter 1, a summary of Midnight Sun. Clearly, we're seeing a side of Edward that, we didn't really get to see in the movies or in the books too much because everything was in Bella's point of view. But now, we get to see what the true predator in him is unleashing. Anyways, I'm a 25-year-old doing podcasts as a hobby. It's something for me to look forward to. It's something I enjoy. Thank you for listening to Midnight Sun. And please check out my other podcast. It's called Sweet Nightmare, the book podcast. It is by the book of Sweet Nightmares by Tracy Wolff. It is a book reading. I'm reading every chapter and giving my opinions on it. If you guys can check that out, that would be amazing. Anyways, thank you so much, and let's get into chapter 2 summary. So my summary of Midnight Sun chapter 2. In Midnight Sun chapter 2, Edward's internal turmoil continues in his intense encounter with Bella. He retreats, grappling with his overwhelming attraction and the dangerous desire he feels. This chapter also introduces a scene where Edward interacts with Tanya, another vampire who expresses her interest in him. Through Edward's thoughts, readers witness his internal conflict as he resists Tanya's advances, his mind consumed by his fascination with Bella. Ultimately, he decides to return to school, driven by his inability to stay away from her, setting the stage for his continued observation and internal struggle. So, that's just the summary that I wrote on chapter 2, and a lot of this chapter, like half of it, it's him in Alaska with his so-called cousins, and he's talking to Tanya. Tanya just really wants, to get it with him, if you guys know what I mean. I don't want to be demonetized or anything, so I'm not going to say the word, but she really just wants to get with him. And Edward, he thinks about it for a second, but then he denies her. I never really thought that's what happened in Alaska. I always thought, he'd be sitting, go visit his cousins, but then he'll go find a mountain alone. He's at the very tippy top, sitting all sulking. Like, I kind of just imagined that for the longest time. And to realize and to think that that's what's going on. It's like, damn, okay. And when he comes back, he has the support of his family to, try his best to resist. He feels what pretty much Jasper is feeling with all the bloodthirst and everything. So as they're at school, Edward has returned. Alice is constantly looking into the future because she can see different futures play out for him. She's not fully sure if she trusts Edward's self-control. None of his siblings do. So they're in science class together. This is the scene where they're talking about it, if it's anaphase or prophase of the cell. And that wasn't really too fun or important. Other than that, in this few chapters, Edward's just kind of being a creep. He's keeping an eye on Bella by going through other people's thoughts, kind of invading their privacy. He hated going through Mike Newton's mind because it was always about pervy thoughts about her. And Jessica was always about jealousy thoughts. But I think it was Angela or Angelina. He loves going through her thoughts on trying to find out where she is, where Bella is. Just because of how nice and sweet she is. She's actually genuine. Other than that, that is it for chapter 2, really. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. Please listen to my other podcast, Sweet Nightmares, the book podcast. This book is Sweet Nightmares by Tracy Wolff. You guys can follow me on YouTube. Please like and subscribe my videos. It's called Kris the Book Podcast. My Twitter/X handle is Kris the Podcast. It'd be amazing for you guys to follow, like, and subscribe. Give me a 5-star rating. I'm sorry there's not too much to talk about. Maybe I'll group 2 or 3 chapters together in the next episode. And I'll also be putting a GoFundMe in the description below if you guys can, you know, if you're feeling generous, doesn't have to be. You could just send $1 or $2 more if you want, but honestly, anything helps. I'm trying to hold a contest for the listeners and also be able to buy, just a cheap, Amazon mic. Because currently at the moment, I'm just using my phone. I'm sure you guys can hear background noises. Anyways, a toodaloo. Bye. Anyways, a toodaloo. Bye. Oh,